So it just takes a moment for it to go live here.
Christine, you need to let Nick in. He's in the, he's waiting. He sent a message in the group.
Okay, I'm just, it's just redirecting me here to YouTube. So I'll just be a second here.
Does this go to YouTube for prosperity and lifelong memories?
Okay.
It does, Chuck. In 2029, someone's going to come along and be able to retrieve this.
And say, why the hell did you make that decision?
It'll have four visits as opposed to some music videos that are up in the hundreds of millions or something like that.
I see how this is going.
Sorry, so I'll just be 1 second here. I'm just gonna try and.
Yeah, it's just turned to midnight out here in Creemore now.
Turn the lights on, Dave.
Oh, they're already on, Chuck. No, that's good. I'm just looking out the window and it's
Okay,
gotten dark.
so everyone
It's
is,
dark your way.
sorry, everyone's coming in now. We should be live on YouTube now as well. So Chuck, I will hand it over to you to start the proceedings of the meeting.
I'll call the meeting to order at 7:01. The minutes for the previous meeting need to be adopted. Do we have a motion to accept them?
I'll make a motion.
Can anybody hear me? I've been trying to connect to this thing for the last 10 minutes. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Barry. We had an issue. The power went out here at Town Hall. And so I wasn't able to access my internet, but we're back online now. So I have Dave Rowell motioning the minutes to be accepted.
Be approved, yep.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We not have.
Aye.
There we go. They're accepted. Can I get a declaration of pecuniary interest from each member, please?
None.
I have no interest, pecuniary interest.
I have no interest, no conflicts.
I have no conflict.
All right, we'll now hear the first application. If the secretary would kindly read the notice.
So Todd Doig is our first applicant. So we'll welcome him to the meeting. The subject application concerns lands municipally known as 21 Edward Street West, Creemore, and legally described as Plan 315 East Part Lot 2 and Reference Plan 51R 29212, Parts 2 and 3. The purpose of the application is to request the approval of the Committee of Adjustment for relief from the following. 1, the residential multiple low density zone minimum front yard setback requirement of 6 meters to 3 meters. And 2, an encroachment of steps into the required front yard of 1.5 meters to 3 meters. The effect of the application is to allow for the reconstruction of a front covered porch and steps. Comments were received from the Chief Building Official and from the Nottawasaga Valley Conservation Authority, both having no objection or concern with the application. And I have a recommendation from the Planning Department. The recommendation is that the Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Clearview hereby approve minor variance 20A03 pertaining to lands at 21 Edward Street West, Creemore, and legally described as Plan 315 East Part Lot 2 and Reference Plan 51R 29212, Parts 2 and 3, on the basis that it meets the 4 tests in accordance with the Planning Act and with the following conditions. That the porch be built a maximum of 3.9 meters from the front.
Christine just froze.
Oh,
All right, Todd. While she's frozen, do you have any comments that you can make to the panelists?
Well, I mean, I think fundamentally it's about, fixing up this house and beautifying it for the neighborhood. So I think the only other issue that I have is that the existing porch is quite, it's almost decrepit. It's not, it's losing its structural soundness. And I think the addition, would actually make the house look a lot more attractive to the community. And it also, frankly, one of the reasons I like about living in Creedmoor is that there's a lot of people on the streets, and the ability to have a nice front porch to sit and chat with neighbors, I think would be a good addition to the house and to the neighborhood.
Excellent. Any comments from the board members? Dave?
I had no particular problems or concerns with this application. Are you aware of what the Nottawasaga Valley Conservation Authority said in their letter, Todd?
I read through the letter, and I have to file with them if there's a successful outcome to this meeting.
Right, and a permit is required from the NVCA, I believe, if I read that correctly as well.
That is correct, yes.
That's all I've got, Chuck.
Any comments, Sean? Sean Davidson, any comments to make on this application?
Sorry, I'm just getting, I was gone there for a little bit. Power went out here, but no, I have no comments. Looks like a nice redevelopment.
Member Barry Burton, do you have any comments?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to say that I am one of the neighbors, and Todd has been trying to fix up the property for a while since he moved there, and it would be a welcome addition to see the front of the property cleaned up and looking a little better. And first of all, Todd, let me apologize for all the red tape you've had to go through. But I totally support this application, and staff supports it, so there's no reason not to approve this application.
Thanks, Barry.
All right, do we have a motion to approve said application?
I would make that motion. There you go. Barry with the signs.
And Barry has said yes. Sean?
I approve.
Motion carried. There is a 20-day appeal period, Todd.
Mhm.
And so don't put any shovels in the ground just yet.
Got it. Well, I think I got to wait for Nottawasaga and also the building permit before I can do anything. Is that correct?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So,
If I may comment, Mr. Chairman,
yes,
you see these signs? This is how we officially carry out county businesses, holding up these signs to say yes, no, and we request to speak. So I am used to doing, instead of just jumping in, I'm used to holding up my signs to say yes, no, I request to speak.
Oh, I know.
currently,
Well, that
Barry,
last one
your
said
video
Black
has
Lives Matter,
be
Barry,
fine.
so
disappeared.
Oh, yeah. Can you run out and close it?
All right. In the absence of Christine here, we're going to move to the next file, which would be Christy and Adam Nicholson. If you'd kindly unmute yourselves.
Mr. Chair, what's the file number?
I do not have that in front of me. I had a printer issue, and the printer has a hammer in it currently.
I'll give it, Chuck.
All
Okay,
right,
so
Dave.
the project number is 20-012, also known as 20-A-04. Do you want me to do some of the reading here?
Sure. Ask
All
them.
right, that'll be extra, but anyways. A cool beer someday, Chuck. All right,
Most
so
definitely.
the subject application concerns lands municipally known as 9 Clarendon Street, New Lowell, and legally described as Plan 116 NPT, Lot 21, Lot 22. Oh, there she's back.
Hi, friends.
Hi,
Awesome.
Christine. We were just in the process of doing your reading for the second one, 2020-012.
Where'd they go?
Okay.
Okay, and I had just started. Got down to the point where it says the purpose of the application is to request, and you can carry on. How's that sound?
Will do. Thank you.
Welcome.
So the purpose of the application is to request the approval of the Committee of Adjustment for relief from the following. 1, residential large lot zone maximum gross floor area of all accessory buildings requirement of 64 square meters to 86 square meters. 2, maximum height of accessory buildings of 4.5 meters to 4.9 meters. 3, exterior side yard setback requirement of 6 meters to 0.9 meters. And 4, section 2.15.3, location of driveways, minimum distance from an intersection of 9 meters to 1.5 meters. The effect of the application is to allow for the construction of a detached garage. Comments were received from the chief building official having no objection or concern with the application. And I have a recommendation from the planning department that the Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the minor variance 20A04 pertaining to lands at 9 Clarendon Street, New Lowell, and legally described as Plan 116, North Part Lot 21, Lot 22, and Reference Plan 51R3164 Part 3, on the basis that it meets the 4 tests in accordance with the Planning Act and with the following conditions. Total gross floor area for all accessory structures will be permitted to be a maximum of 86 square meters. That the height of the proposed detached garage will be permitted to be a maximum of 4.9 meters. That the proposed detached garage will be built a minimum of 0.9 meters from the northern property line. A permit shall be obtained for the above ground pool if required. The existing driveway will be removed and replaced with grass within 6 months of obtaining a building permit for the detached garage. The applicant will obtain a new entrance permit from the Township of Clearview prior to obtaining a building permit. That the new entrance and driveway will be set back a minimum of 1.5 meters from the northern property line, and the applicant agrees that no openings such as windows will be constructed on the north side of the detached garage. And that's all I have.
Do you have any comments to add to all of that, Christy and Adam?
We were just hoping that if it does get approved, it would just provide security and storage for all of our assets, i.e. boat, trailers, side-by-sides. Currently, it's all out in the yard. We're probably an eyesore, especially for Jack, who lives across the street from us. So
it's just nice to have everything tidy and clean so we don't have such a disaster in the house.
Way better curb appeal.
All right. Any comments from the panel? We'll start with Dave.
I see your request to speak, Barry. I'll pass it over to you when finished. I had a great deal of difficulty with this, to be honest with you and Adam. Some of the minor variances were getting very close to, in my little mind, to be very significant, such as the setback of the building to only 0.9 meters off the property line. And I also had another incident or another concern, and that was the new driveway would only be 1.5 meters from technically an intersection, although Palmerston doesn't come all the way through. So I said all that just for honesty and clarity. So should you ever go through something similar in the future, 20 years from now, on a different property, and if you have a member such as myself, you may think about the number of minor variances that are being asked for here. I even went to the point where I went out to the property twice and drove around the block about 100 times, it seems. But anyways, At the end of the day, the long-winded story is I have no problem with this application. The saving grace was the fact that Palmerston Road, it does not appear as if it's going to be completed anytime soon. And so you live on a unique property with that one particular benefit in this case. So once again, I have no objections to this particular application after a lot of debate in my own brain. So
That's it?
that's it.
Member Barry Burton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First thing I want to say, you have way too many toys.
It's him.
Anyways, I too had to circle around the property a couple of times, and I actually, drove down the street there that doesn't go through on Palmerston Street, towing a 16-foot trailer behind me and realized it stopped and had to back up down Palmerston Ave. So anyways, went around a couple of times, looked at the property. The unique thing is about it is that the Palmerston Avenue does not look like it's going to go through at any time. So so I can be a little more tolerant with the setbacks and that. So that said, I will support the motion or the recommendation.
Member Sean.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Perhaps a question of staff, Rosalind, if she's still there. Who is creating the requirement for the removal of the existing driveway?
The township is, because the bylaw also only allows one driveway, sorry. So we have had to, because we didn't vary that request, we will now have to come into conformity to remove that existing driveway.
So was there discussion about adding that to the minor variance to permit the second entrance?
I don't know, did Christine?
I can answer that if you like. So I did reach out to Adam and Christy on that when I noticed their application came in showing on their sketch a second driveway. And I did mention to them that if they wanted to maintain both, they would have to ask for a minor variance to keep that second driveway. But they communicated that they didn't want two driveways, that they were happy to decommission the original driveway and establish the new driveway to the new garage.
Correct.
So a follow-up question, if I may, to the applicants. You have an attached garage on the residence. It's not going to require an access?
Well, it will still be grass and there's already a culvert over there. So we'll still have grass access, but we don't need it paved over there as we won't be parking vehicles over there.
It'll be more for like lawn, yard, other equipment and stuff. So to have that kind of driveway access doesn't really need to be like that.
Yeah.
So we can, at that point, just remove it, clean up the land, bring in some nice fill, and then resod it, which is not a huge issue.
Okay, and then your daily vehicles will just be parked in the new driveway and the toy box will be full with the other items. All right. All right, so there was nothing on the diagram, but do you have a plan for some type of surfaced walkway to access your house?
Not at this point. At this point in time, we just wanted to get everything with the variances and all that kind of stuff done. And then as far as a walkway and further renovations to the house, we'll go forward at that. Like our plans are to
see if this could get approved first before we go any further.
Do like all new windows and exterior, and we have a lump sum of money that we'd like to make the house look really nice from the curb. So if everything goes good today, hopefully it does.
You'll probably be hearing from us again.
You'll be hearing from us again because we'd like to put some new windows and definitely put a nice walkway in and really make the house look nice. So.
Thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
And Member Dan.
I had a look at the property and didn't really have any major concerns. I was originally concerned with the closeness of 0.9 meters, but with it being the way the property's laid out with the ditch beside it and everything, I'm okay with it. Yeah.
All right, my only comment is that Palmerston Road, when they laid out this development in the early 70s, it's been 50 years since they have yet to finish that street. I can't imagine that it will be anytime soon in the planning. Can I have a motion to accept this application?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Aye.
Adam and Christie, you have a 20-day appeal period, and sometime after that, you need to see Christine.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You
You
too.
too.
Who's next, Christine?
Steve Buckland of 11869 County Road 10.
You want to go ahead and read the application?
I will. The subject application concerns lands municipally known as 11869 County Road 10, formerly Sunnydale, and legally described as Concession 9 North Part Lot 16. The purpose of the application is to request the approval of the Committee of Adjustment for relief from the agricultural zone maximum gross floor area of all accessory buildings requirement of 200 square meters to 340 square meters. The effect of the application is to allow for the construction of a detached garage. Comments were received from the chief building official, having no objection or concern with the application, and I have a recommendation from the planning department. Be it resolved that the Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Clearview hereby approves minor variance 20A05 pertaining to lands located at 11869 County Road 10, Clearview, and legally described as Concession 9 North Part Lot 16 on the basis that it meets the 4 tests in accordance with the Planning Act, subject to the following conditions. A, that the owner acknowledges and agrees that the proposed detached accessory building can only be utilized in support of personal use unless as otherwise permitted under the Township Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 06-54. B, should municipal staff require, the owner acknowledges and agrees to provide a legal undertaking to be registered on the title of the property stating and agreeing to condition A as outlined above to the satisfaction of municipal staff. And that's all I have.
Do you have any comments, Steve, to add to that, what we already know about your application?
No,
Say that again, Steve?
my son. Any comments?
Steve, you could try maybe shutting your video off and just using the audio.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
What? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I don't have any comments.
Alrighty then. Dave, do you have any comments?
No, actually, on this particular application, I have no questions or concerns. Thank you.
Member Barry, do you have any comments?
Yes, I want to ask the applicant that they truly understand what these conditions. I want to ensure that they understand these conditions so that in the future, should there be an issue, they can't come back and say, well, I didn't understand the conditions. So I want to know that they're aware of what these conditions are and they have an obligation to fulfill them.
Your reply, Steve? Your reply to Member Barry that you understand the conditions.
Pardon me, you're cutting out, sorry.
Member Sean, do you have any comments?
No comments. It fits with the community, and you know, as long as we're not going to see a shingle out or a A-frame out on the road advertising a new mechanic shop or something, then I think we're all good.
Member Dan?
No, no, nothing like that.
No, I have no concerns with this one as well. It's a large enough piece of property to warrant putting a building that size on it.
Can we get a motion to accept said application?
Motion to accept.
Yes. All in favor? Carried.
Mr. Chair, can you advise us who moved it and who seconded the motion, please?
It was
I had
moved by,
taken, sorry.
it was moved by Member Barry Burton, seconded by Member Sean, all in favor by Dave and Dan. I'm
Thank
pretty
you.
quick with your sign. Who is, where is he? Steve,
Buckland
there is
still there.
There's a 20-day appeal period before you can put a shovel in the ground, and you need to see Christine.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I understand. Okay, thank you.
All right, Christine, who's next?
We have David Scott of 209 Cherry Street.
I object.
File 20A06. The application concerns lands municipally known as 209 Cherry Street, Stainer, and legally described as Plan 68, Lot 14, and Part Lot 15, and Reference Plan 51R8999, Parts 1 and 2. The purpose of the application is to request the approval of the Committee of Adjustment for relief from Section 2.6.1.1 provisions for accessory buildings to allow a detached accessory building to be located in the front yard. The building is proposed to be set back a distance of 9.18 meters from the front property line, being Charles Street. The effect of the application is to allow for the construction of a shed. Comments were received from the chief building official, having no objection or concern with the application. And I have a recommendation from the from the planning department that the Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the minor variance 20A06 pertaining to lands at 209 Cherry Street, Stainer, and legally described as Plan 68, Lot 14, and Part Lot 15, and Reference Plan 51R8999, Parts 1 and 2, on the basis that it meets the 4 tests in accordance with the Planning Act and with the following conditions. That 2 smaller sheds on the property will be removed within 6 months of the date of the notice of decision of the minor variance, and the shed will be a maximum height of 3.5 meters and maximum area of 9.9 square meters, should be set back a minimum of 9 meters from Charles Street. And that's all I have.
Do you have any further comments to the application, Dave?
No, I have nothing further to add.
All right.
Did you hear me?
Any comments, Member Barry Burton?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't see that the applicant is present, but I heard his voice. So I just clearly, again, want to ensure that he understands the terms. If we approve this, what those terms are, the removal of the smaller sheds and the maximum height of the new shed. I just want to be clear that he understands those terms.
Yes, I do.
Any comments, Member Dave Rowell?
Just a good evening, Dave, and how are you doing? And I have no particular concerns or issues with the application as it stands.
Member Sean?
I have no concerns.
Member Dan?
I also have no concerns, provided that the other buildings get removed as requested.
Do we have a motion to accept said? Member Barry Burton has motioned. Member Sean has seconded. Do we have an all in favor from Dave and Dan?
We do indeed.
Yes.
Excellent. So there's a 20-day appeal period, Dave, and you need to see Christine. Other than that, have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Based on my memory, Christine, that sums up the evening's agenda.
Yeah, so under other business, I have nothing unless any of the members have anything they'd like to bring up.
Just a quick question, Christine.
Sure.
Any further word from OCA with regard to their training for this year? I suspect that it's going to be all canceled, just like a good portion. Oh, hi, Nick. Have you got an answer to that?
They're saying goodbye.
No, I'm saying goodbye. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So have you heard anything, Christine?
I have not. There have been no updates. It's been pretty quiet. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of months, maybe what their decision will be on the conference in October.
Member Barry, would you like to say something?
I would. I just like the comment that I think I'm entertaining Member Rao when every time I stick my sign up. He seems to get a little chuckle out of that. But
Well, I figured it was a Black Lives Matter comment, Barry.
anyways, it works at county. When you got 32 members at county, you can't just be jumping in and making comments. So you have to hold your signs up. And so it seems to work, and we seem to be doing it at council. So I might suggest that we ask council to order us some extra signs so we could use them at these meetings.
Yeah, we had discussed that, Barry. When we did our test meeting, we had chatted about possibility of getting signs. I did recommend that we ensure we went to each person and directly ask for comments and questions as well, just to be sure everyone was heard and on their vote also. But I'm happy to request those if everyone would like to have the signs.
I'm not against them, Christine, but really, truly, I'd like to be back in council chambers 6 feet apart doing this.
I couldn't agree more, Mr. Chair.
Yes, we're hoping.
So do we have a tentative date to when we're going to meet again, Christine?
Yeah, so I have received one application for our July meeting. So the second Wednesday, which I believe is the 8th, if I remember correctly. So we will have one. So it should be a quick one. So which will be interesting. So if we're to the opportunity that the office is open, there's still some work to be done here in the office before we're ready to open the office. And I have no information on when that will be. So now that numbers as of Friday can be up to 10, maybe it's hopeful within the next few weeks or a month that we might be able to start meetings again, but there's been no communication so far on that. Go ahead, Barry.
Yes, I'd like to welcome Member Davidson to Committee of Adjustment. It's good to see you again, sir, and welcome aboard.
Well, thank you. I thought it was I appreciated council supporting my application to join you gentlemen, and it's like old times.
We appreciate having you. So by every fear of what I thought was going to happen for this meeting came to be, but I'm glad that it worked out and I was able to get back online. So
I was too, because Dave was reading your part and keeping us on track.